Welcome back. We'll start off with the Men in Black, MIB rewards. Right now, the DSI is offering ₱1 million for information into 7 cases, unsolved cases during the 2010 riots. And some of these were attributed to the Men in Black. The red shirts have now come up and said they are willing to double or triple that reward with their own money to get information to prove that they were not the ones responsible for this. And Jatupon, what's his surname? I can't remember his surname. One of the red shirt co-leaders has come forward with new evidence on the Men in Black, and is now accusing the army as being the people behind the Men in Black.
Well, he's saying there are no Men in Black, right?
Well,
at first he said
there were no Men in Black. Now he's saying if there were Men in Black, it's the army. The army actually put the people there.
You're in black, so are you a woman in black?
I could have been, but I wasn't at that time.
Did you see any Men in Black?
Yes, I did. Would I recognise them again? Probably not, because their faces were not...
Well, they were wearing balaclavas,
They were balaclavas
right?
anyway, but I mean, if you went into the area of Chidlom, as you may recall, there's on that Klong and on the slight bridge, or slight hill, there were actually a truck across there that actually noted later on...
This is in 2010.
2010, that there were bombs in that van. Now, the Men in Black were all around that, walking backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's got photographs of it, but you know, as you said earlier, Jay, when we talked privately about this, BBC's got footage, CNN's got footage. So to actually say, I don't think there were Men in Black is a nonsense.
Well, there's footage.
You're not colourblind for sure, right?
No, I mean,
maybe they were in white. I'm not sure.
There's a clip on YouTube of a guy wearing all black and a black balaclava running out of a soy in Bonkai near my house. He comes out of a soy just adjacent to soy Nandu Pli, which connects through to Saton soy 1. And he runs out and you can hear him shooting. You can see him running out of an assault rifle.
I've seen that.
It's the Israeli Tabor assault rifle. You can see him running out. You catch a glimpse of him running out, and you can hear the gun firing, and you can see him running back. And you would have to say the direction he's firing in is probably down towards the corner of Saton and Wireless, where the army roadblocks were set up at that time.
So he was firing. This Man in Black on the footage was firing from a red shirt controlled area, so to speak, right? Not from the firing.
Because I mean, in that area, Nanu Pli down through to Soy 1, there were red shirt barricades
all the way down there.
And you know, we had so many stories
barricades outside my house, and there were red shirts coming up and down there all the time.
And when you passed these barricades, you had to provide yourself. You had to
not
get
in
yourself
that
questioned.
area, no.
But certainly at Chidlom you did. Certainly at Chidlom. You had to walk through it at the beginning. Later on, you took your car through. They actually pulled everything out of your car to see what was in the car, what were you taking in. So, you know.
It was like you were going through a border crossing.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so
although actually in a border crossing, they don't actually lift the carpet out of your car.
Right.
But I mean, to say that the Democrat Party tried to fabricate the Men in Black story. And that they didn't exist, or they.
They're actually blaming Thaksin.
I mean, this is the rewriting of history in the process. I mean, if you say it enough times, you say it loud enough, and you generate enough PR on it, then pretty soon people are going to start questioning what they saw with their own eyes.
And the history will be written as others want it to be written, not as fact.
Yeah,
that's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the fact remains, there were Men in Black for sure.
There were.
Yeah, we still don't know who they are, for sure.
Well,
but they did not appear to be.
Well, they have. I mean, they have pictures of them. They have, the international news networks have footage of them
and
shooting
some without
guns
balaclavas
over a wall,
too.
Shooting guns over a wall in broad daylight in Lumpini Park. There's pictures of at least 1 or 2 of them minus balaclavas, but in holding assault rifles.
Sure.
At the incident at the Kokwa intersection.
Yeah.
So, really, you want to say that they didn't exist? I mean, come on, just.
I think that's the annoying part about it. If it's everybody's blaming everybody else, that's acceptable.
If you want to say, if you want to have truth and reconciliation, just say, okay, just stop making. Stop trying to bend the truth.
They were obviously armed. They were troublemakers. They were causing commotion.
They were directed by someone unknown.
Yeah, they were directed by someone, not yet clear who that is. And they seem to be operating from the areas controlled by the red shirts, who actually maintain pretty good security in their area. So, to deny their existence is futile, actually.
It's a nonsense.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
Well, I mean, we can all say allegedly and I believe, and so.
But at the end of the day, the history books will be
Well,
rewritten as
yeah, I mean the events took place. We were all living in the area when it happened, and we all saw the footage.
It's so easy to actually say, you know, it was military or army, but I'm pretty sure these people were military or army trained. They could be ex-military, they could be military because they were operating.
Well, there's all
heavy
kinds of
weapons,
rumors.
right?
There's all kinds of rumors about where these guys came from. But I mean, clearly they had some form of
Military
proper
training.
military
they were an
or
elite
weapons
force.
training.
They actually knew what to shoot at. They knew how to actually shoot where they were going to shoot. I mean, they weren't just people that had come in with a gun occasionally.
True.
They
So
obviously had.
just because they were military trained does not mean they are from the army.
But in fact, they may not have been military trained either. They could be trained by any group of experts in that particular field. I mean, we see that in the South all the time.
Okay.
It's not the army training those guys. There are
They
some.
could have been mercenaries.
Exactly, it's got to be mercenaries. So you know, maybe they were imported from the South.
I don't think
Again,
we can really speculate who they
Sure.
are. But the point is to say that they weren't there or they didn't exist.
That's insulting, isn't
That's
it?
crazy.
insulting.
Yeah,
That's
they were
crazy.
there.
Yeah.
It's up to the DSI to find out where they're from, and hopefully the history books will be written as it
I
is.
don't think the DSI is going to find out where they're from.
You don't?
No, I don't think anyone's going to
Or
find
do you
out where
think
they're from.
they'll know
But
where they're from?
I just don't think that anyone should be denying that they were
Yeah.
involved and that they were responsible for shooting soldiers.
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
All right.
And they
True.
were. I mean, if you're not shooting at soldiers, soldiers aren't going to shoot back at you.
Exactly.
Okay. And if you're crazy enough to stand in a street and there's a army checkpoint down the road with young soldiers armed with live ammunition and weapons, and you start shooting homemade rockets at them and stuff, damned if you're not going to get shot back at with
You
live
don't-
ammunition, you know?
You don't stand there and say, "Oh, here I am." You
Yeah.
know, it's like you're going to fight for your own life.
Sure.
All right. Let's move
Okay.
on to the next topic. A cop, actually a sergeant major in the traffic division, was actually stopped at a police checkpoint in the north, and he actually sneaked away, and they found 760 million baht street value of drugs in his car. 760 million baht. Right. Now, he was on the run for a couple of days, and then he actually finally surrendered. While he was on the run, they actually discovered that he had a lot of assets, way more than what
Did
he
you see the
actually earned.
picture of his cars?
Yes, indeed.
This is a sergeant major, you know. He's
Wow.
not even a fully commissioned officer. He's a non-commissioned officer. He's a traffic cop.
Okay.
Right. So now they caught him, and he admitted to doing drug runs, and he's done like 10 or
For the last couple of years,
2
he
years.
said.
and
He's
he
been
gets
doing them for 2 years and he's been
Yeah.
earning about
1 to
2
2
million
million
baht
baht
per
every-
delivery.
per
1 to
delivery.
2 million baht per delivery.
So that's how he gets his cars, Jay, yeah?
And he was brought into this business by an ex-police officer.
Okay.
All right. So,
So what do you want to say?
wow.
What do you want to say?
Wow. 760
We're
million
in the
baht.
wrong. We're in the wrong profession.
Exactly. Could be that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the fact that we're out looking for people with drugs is important. We haven't been as active as I think we should have been in the past, but we need to get back to where we were a few years ago when the Prime Minister Thaksin was in power, where we actually went after these guys and we really went after them in a serious way. Obviously, it's a huge network, and there's got to be some more, you know, hard rules, and you know, this is you face the death penalty or whatever it is. But at the moment, it's just too easy because, you know, it's look about the story about the rich dad. I've got a rich dad. I can get away with anything. It's like I've got, friends in the army. I've got friends at high places. Okay, I'll give myself up, but I can get away with it. What's going to happen to this cop? You think he's going to go to jail? I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think this.
He'll
one's
go across
gonna
the border.
I think this one's going to go down. I have a feeling.
Do you?
Yeah. I mean, if he's he's a police.
Sergeant major.
He's a sergeant major.
But there are other police involved because actually they're looking for another 6 members of the team, of which another one is a
Ex-police
officer
who was
too.
fired because he was found to be involved in the illegal business.
Illegal
He was
business.
fired, you know. He was not charged. He was just fired from the police force. That's strange.
I mean,
That's
if he wasn't
strange.
going to go down,
Yeah.
would this story be? Would we know about this story?
But you know, it can get whitewashed so easily here, Joe,
Yeah.
really. You know, I mean, he should pay the price, but what is going to be the price? So many years in jail?
Yeah.
Think of all the lives that are being ruined
Yeah.
as a result of these drugs being transported across here. We actually use them in Thailand. There are drug runners here, and then it goes across into other countries too. So
Yeah.
it's the big picture we've got to look at. I know that this
Yeah.
government is saying, well, we're going to do a
Yeah,
lot
I mean,
more.
you're a drug runner. I mean, he said that I was not thinking when I ran away, but I'm not afraid of death. I believe police would not shoot at a fellow officer.
So that's what
And I
he
didn't know
was
where to hide.
using.
No, wait. I've told my wife and family about this, and I believe I'll receive fair treatment. So fair treatment for carrying that amount of drugs should be life in prison without
It
parole.
should
fair
be without
treatment,
parole
yeah.
at all,
Yeah.
Yeah.
at best.
So, you know,
So that's fair treatment.
Jay,
Not a death sentence,
by
but
quoting-
life in prison.
by quoting what he said, means
Yeah.
he was actually using his position as a police officer to get away with.
Yes, he
with-
was.
Or
Well,
facilitating his movement.
you might think that
Right.
going by what he's reading between the lines of what he's saying
He
is
was
that
facilitating his movement.
he believes that he deserves, you know, slightly better treatment because he's a police
a
officer.
tap on the wrist. or something,
Unacceptable.
perhaps.
Unacceptable. But it's going to be who he knows, who's behind it,
Let's
and who
follow
are the
up on
big
this
players
story
are.
to make sure that he gets what he should be getting and not get away with it too easily.
Hope not.
It's a lot of drugs.
A lot of drugs.
A lot of drugs. A lot
Okay.
of cars in his house. Now you know why there's so many. Oh, no, I shouldn't say that. It's
You know,
not
he was
fair.
actually very
What were you
good.
going to say?
Nothing.
He was actually very good. Apparently, his colleagues didn't notice that he was
No.
extra rich. You know, they said he was behaving normally, and he even took loans from the police.
Well,
or
maybe
the
he just
government
kept the
banks.
cars at home and nobody knew he had them. Maybe he had
Except
a big
the family.
wall around his house, and maybe he could have said, "Well, I've got other investments and family has."
And the only thing we're
the
seeing at the
money.
moment, the cars, you can wonder what else is, whether it's land, whether there's properties. There's whole areas that they'll probably find, but I still believe he shouldn't be asking for fair treatment.
Yeah. Okay. We'll follow up on this topic next.
Well, he should be asking for fair treatment, but it should be the fair treatment that other
Fact.
drug runners,
Facts, yeah.
other drug runners
Yeah.
receive, not special fair treatment.
We're out of time.
Yeah.
We have to go for a break. We'll see you after this.